Hi, I'm Nicola Hill and I'm Programme Manager for Dumfries Galloway LEADER. I've been in post now for almost 13 years and have managed 2 LEADER programmes. I would say my main role is supporting our local action group to deliver the objectives in our local development strategy, alongside supporting our team of project officers and our finance coordinator who provide fundamental help to our projects to get them through the LEADER process. Never an easy process, but I think the difference that we've been able to achieve by providing that support has been key. LEADER in Dumfries and Galloway is not just a grant funding programme, it's a rural development programme underpinned by the key LEADER principles, 7 key LEADER principles, and underpinned also by community-led local development. I genuinely believe that the approach that we've taken in Dumfries and Galloway has made change in our communities. We've provided the support in order for them to be able to deliver what they want to address the needs in their communities.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Challoner. I'm the project officer at the Building the Case for a Care Campus project, which was hosted by the Crichton Trust and ran with LEADER funding until December 2020. The project had a really simple aim, which was to increase our understanding about what makes for a good place to grow old. So we went across the region, talking to communities large and small, talking to lots of stakeholders across the region about what matters to them and what would make Dumfries and Galloway the best place to grow old. And what we found is that people really wanted to remain as economically, socially and culturally active in their communities and connected to the other people in their communities for as long as possible. So that has inspired a number of projects that we've been working on during the project and we're still working on now. This includes the 21st Century Village, which is a project about a development site that's adjacent to the Crichton estate. This has planning permission for 470 homes, and what we're looking to do is to develop those plans into a village for the 21st century. So that's smart, adaptable, connected homes that will last people their entire lifetime. We're really looking to encourage connections and to encourage the community to feel part of the wider community in Dumfries and Galloway. So we're looking at how we can encourage as much connections both within that development site, but also to the assets that are around the Crichton itself.
My name is Cathy Agnew. I've been a member of the local action group for Dumfries and Galloway, the LAG, on and off for about 14 years, in 2 tranches in fact. And during the first section that I was a LAG member, I also chaired the LAG for about 4 years. To my mind, it was always the most extraordinary process. You'd have about 20 people round a table. You would consider each application when it came in and you would then discuss it. And I remember one day particularly saying to somebody, now please will you start? And they came up and they said X, Y and Z, this is completely the way I think about it. And then the next person on my right said, do you know, I completely disagree and I think A, B and C. And it was always, you got incredible debate, incredible discussion, and it was fascinating seeing where people were coming from and what they actually thought about a particular project and its impact that it would have on their own community, on the public or whatever it might be. And but the most fascinating thing of all was that you always got consensus, and that was terrific. And that ability to be able to discuss and debate round that table is something, and it's something I really hope we don't miss. I think going forward, to be able to do that with people from different backgrounds, different walks of life, that is what is crucial, and that is why LEADER has worked for Dumfries and Galloway.
I'm delighted to be able to speak here and was delighted when you asked me. I've been very, very fortunate to work with Nicola, Simon and Lewis. So has Paul. We've both enjoyed the time working with you. We would never have achieved so much if we hadn't had you behind us. You suggested things, you showed us the way forward, and we're just delighted. Thank you very much, Leader.
Okay, so my name's Richard and I'm one of the directors of Lochcanica Bothies, along with my wife and my daughter. We started this project a couple of years ago now, and when we first thought about it, we thought, well, wouldn't it be nice to have something in the region that could really showcase local talent and develop a building on sustainable means? So then we started doing some research into it, and the prices as they came out, the costs of such a project was huge. So we kind of went a bit cold on the idea, and then we came across LEADER, who are our salvation really. So with the LEADER team in Dumfries and Galloway, they helped us put a proposal together and gave us a huge amount of financial support. And without them, we'd never really have been able to embark on the project. So we're eternally grateful, because here we have this beautiful, beautiful building. We have incredible occupancy rates, which is kind of what, actually we've exceeded the occupancy rates we had hoped for. And at the moment, everything is looking really great, and there's already talk about our next project. So yeah, so we're already looking forward to and discussing our next project. Just a word on LEADER. It was a lot more, the team provided a lot more than just financial support. They helped us put the whole thing together and come up with something that was going to be achievable, and helped us on the straight and narrow. So not just ourselves, but many, many others like us. If something doesn't come in and replace LEADER, enterprises like ourselves just wouldn't. We would never have been able to even get this thing started without their support and help, for which we're eternally grateful. And my final thoughts are, for anybody else looking to embark on a project such as this, there's a lot of local talent, there's a lot of local help in Dumfries and Galloway. So do your homework and speak to the people who can help you, and there are many, many who can. And perhaps don't embark on a project like this just at the outset of a pandemic.
So I'm Amy D. Watson, and we are here in the Quarrymen's Art Centre, formerly known as St Joseph's Church, or the Creetown Silver Band's Band Hall. I work for Creetown Initiative here in Creetown, and I'm also a trustee of the Creetown Building Preservation Trust as well. Creetown Building Preservation Trust contacted LEADER back in 2016-17 to inquire about funding to redevelop the former St Joseph's Church into a performing arts venue. I would recommend for other communities to help progress your project faster, more efficiently. The best thing you could probably do is to secure paid support. Someone or an organisation that's got the time, the knowledge, the skill set to put in applications, find funding sources, and to know when new opportunities will come about. Without it, most of these projects can take a lot longer, and opportunities could be missed. Another thing I would suggest would be just make sure your community is on board with everything. At the end of the day, the reason we do these projects is to benefit the community, and without them on board and part of the process, it might not come to fruition. From 2017, it's taken us 4 years to get to the point of opening the Quarrymen's Art Centre, and the help along the way from the LEADER staff has been invaluable. Right from the beginning, we had Lewis Body. Simone has helped us along the way, especially with the claims process, and indeed so has Nicola Hill as well.
Hello, I'm Sharon Glendinning. I'm a member of the Dumfries and Galloway Local Action Group. It's been a great privilege to be involved with LEADER over the last 10 years, and Dumfries and Galloway has benefited significantly from LEADER, both through funding but also through the advice and support and guidance that have been provided to many groups to help them deliver their projects. I know this programming period has undoubtedly been challenging, but the leader approach has still shone through. This was evident in our Rural Awards, which were held in December 2019, which showcased the creativity, innovation and commitment of community champions and organisations right across Dumfries and Galloway. For me personally, a highlight would be having been involved in the early days of Day of the Region and being able to accompany community organisations on learning journeys and helping them think about projects that could be delivered in their communities. Leader, as we know it in Dumfries and Galloway, may be changing, but the legacy can still be seen from Langham in the east to Wigton in the west. It has been a great privilege to have been involved with Leader, to have witnessed the investment and the projects that have been delivered, and I hope that there will be continued support for rural development in our region in the future.
I'd like to thank Ellen and Jessie and Simone for helping me and for all your patience getting me through the leader process. So thank you guys.
Well, from Chris and I and the Connection in Communities project, we'd like to give a really great heartfelt thank you to the folks at Leader, and especially Nicola, Simone, Jess, Helen, and especially the local lag group. And without them, we wouldn't be here today doing what we do. Thanks very much, Leader.
Yeah, thanks again.
I think ultimately what's next is exciting times for visibility in Dumfries and Galloway. I do feel as a member of staff and as a project, the funding from Leader helped us to kind of change and evolve the way that we're working almost 180 degrees. And I feel that as an organisation, visibility, we've been working with people for 160 years, but that's starting to filter through to other projects and other local authorities, and hopefully we can lead the way.
I was registered as partially sighted 3 years ago and met Mia and Craig, and at that time, obviously you're going through the grieving process. It was horrific. You think your life's over at the time, and they told me to come along to the group, and I thought I'll go, I'll see how it goes. I was really not looking forward to going. Came to the group and met loads of lovely people who were in the same position as I was in, so I didn't feel so isolated, so lonely or anything. And after that, because of that support and assistance, I felt that I would quite like to assist visibility. And when I had to give up my job recently, I thought I would like to volunteer, help them out, and I became a sensory inspirer, which has then enabled me, with obviously the skills that I obtained from the groups that I've been to with visibility, it's enabled me to assist other people who are in the same position as I was in.
I think it's also important to recognise that the support we get from Leader isn't just that economic support, but the Leader team themselves are a great source of information and knowledge and emotional support as well, particularly at a time when you're starting a business which might be a little bit outside your comfort zone, completing tasks that might not be the ordinary ones that you do, and it's worthwhile saying thank you to them for all the hard work that they've done.
So yeah, we just wanted to say thank you to Leader for the Crafty Galloway project, the support we received. Without a doubt, the increase in tourism to the area, the distillery, and the increase in growth in the distillery has been massive. So we just want to say thank you, Leader, and cheers.
Cheers.
Hi there, I'm Peter Ross. I chair Dumfries and Galloway Local Action Group for the Leader programme here in this region. Today I'm in the Dark Space Planetarium in Kirkcudbright, a project we helped fund, and I'm delighted to be here. I've got to draw out what has happened, and I'm going to read my sheet. My figures are quite, I think, substantial here. The smallest grant was £970 for a brochure. The biggest grant was £150,000 for a tourist attraction. There were 30 LAG members, that's a local action group, members, most of whom were volunteers drawn from the local community who know the community. And I've put in sterling work, got to thank them for that. Sterling work helping to run the project. There were 69 projects with a total value of £7 million, which has been invested in this region. And there have been 7 employees that leaders paid for who are in high quality jobs. The other thing I want to draw attention to is the rural awards. It's all in there. It's all there. There were seven categories: rural resilience, coastal and fisheries community, rural entrepreneurship, natural environment, inclusive communities, shining light, and legacy awards. And just to highlight some of those, because everyone in there was a star. And just to highlight some of them in particular, if I go to the Legacy Awards, I'm walking from the back, the Legacy Awards, we put some funding into Wigton to allow them to enter the competition to be Scotland's book town. And look what's happened from that. There wasn't very much money, I think it was 10,000 from memory, a long time ago. And look what's happened to that. Wigton now, the book town has now got an international reputation, certainly a big national profile, so that's been good. And the Shining Light Awards, people who have done most for Leader, and the one I'm going to highlight is Langham. Langham got funding from Leader 1, and got funding from Leader 2, all the way through. And they've grown and grown and grown until now they've taken over a large moor.
My name is Judith Johnson, and we're here in Langham in the far east of Dumfries and Galloway. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with the Leader team over many years. They're so professional, so friendly and so supportive. It's been an absolute pleasure.
As you'll be aware, this will be our final Leader programme, unfortunately. But for those of you that are interested in what comes next, discussions are taking place at a national level with our Scottish Government colleagues on how best to build on the legacy of Leader. So watch this space, who knows what might come round the corner.